everyone. It is Saturday evening. It is part of the second part of our viewers' requests. But who all made it into the final section? Reggie Collins watching, Simon Conlon, Eddie Torney says, yo, Sandy Rowe, here we go. Kyle McElroy is watching, Alan Knox, Alan McGraw, Grace Curry in Fountain Londonderry, William Smith, Elaine Toker's watching in Lisburn, Ian Simpson is in Cumber, Johnny McCann says, good evening all, Graham Kenny is watching, Harry MacArthur is watching from Glasgow, although it says Ian watching from Glasgow. Something going on there. Are you not alone this evening? Is one of the grandkids over with you getting fed, Harry, this evening? Elizabeth Graham is watching, Gillian Johnson, Tommy Lloyd is watching from Loyalist Liverpool, Karina and Ray McHugh is in with us this evening, Gavin Hazlitt, Marla McAllister, Dennis Boston from Ballyhalbert, Jennifer McAllister in Craigenee, Edward Fellows is in, as is Ronnie Hyman, Mary McKee, Brian Goody, Keith Weir, John Mund from Cambuslang, hopefully I said that right, John. Jimmy Graham in Portavogie, Robert Goldsmith is watching from Omagh, John and Wendy Craig in Bury, Guy Bryan is watching, Tony Miller is watching, John Dowling is watching, as is Jennifer, Dougie, Caroline, David, Tracy Smith from Hartlepool, because she is Dinger Bell's daughter. Happy Easter, everyone, she says. Ronnie Hyman is here, as is Brian McNeil, Colin Leslie, Jason, Jimmy Graham. He says there can't be too many accordion bands on tonight. They were all played last night. Do you want to bet? But first tonight, before we get into the viewers' choices, we have to mark what should have been two parades this year. The Constable Anderson Memorial, I think I read it's the 40th anniversary, no, 60th anniversary it should have been, and also today should have been Whitburn Flute Band's parade as well. So we just want to take time at the beginning of our show this evening to mark what would have been those two parades. First up, we have a little bit of Whitburn. This is them in 2019. Why, what did you do? Give me 2 seconds, he says. I'll read out some more texts. Jerry Gardner is watching in Pollokshaw, Glasgow. Victoria Sheridan's watching. Brian Goody says, turn the sound up, please. Am I not loud enough? Oh, my goodness. If we can do something about that.
No, there was a little issue with the sound there, which I now have sorted. Hence one of the reasons I was fiddling about trying to get it. But
is
the sound
your mic on?
My mic's on now, yeah.
Good. Yeah. Okay, cool.
But there was a problem with the sound, and which should now be resolved. Everybody should be able to hear you properly. They were only hearing you through my mic, which was because the mute had switched around for some reason, but everything sound-wise should be fine now.
Far too much technical detail there. Just say it's sorted. Oh, now hang on a wee minute. Ken Wood says, good evening from Loyalist Liverpool. Valerie, last night the Star of Talks had 8 accordion players and not 6. Oh, it's disappeared. Hold on now. It's a very big long text. I didn't get reading it all before it disappeared on me. The Star of Talks is the accordion player, concertina players, not 6. Apologies, I just looked at the last of it and I only saw 6, so I do apologise. In fact, there was a little rude comment towards the band as well, telling us to keep it in Liverpool. I did say that and I deleted it, Ken, so apologies for that there. I apologise on somebody else's behalf. Good at it. And no, I don't think that you should keep it in Liverpool. I love the wee concertinas. I think they are great. And I know that one of the bands, they did make an offer that the next time they're over that I can get to try them, which I'm looking forward to. My mum did try to buy me one for Christmas. So she ordered it, but instead one of those, we single row button keyed accordions came instead. She was quite disgusted. She was very disgusted. Keith Austin says, give a shout out to Johnny Austin from Londonderry. He's a big 31 today, so I'll make a wee note of that for birthdays later before it disappears. 31 today. And that is from Keith. Now, are we ready to go with Whitburn this time? Good. Let's have a wee bit of Whitburn.
Hopefully the sound is better now. For all of you saying you can't hear me, I wasn't saying anything important. I wasn't on a rant or anything like that there. So we're all good. We're all good. Jerry Gardner is watching from Pollokshaw, Glasgow. Hope we have a great night. Brian Goody is watching, as is William Callahan. John Hewitt's watching from Liverpool. Looking forward to another great night and time tonight. Mr. Hart, our last night. Forgot about it. John, that's not like you. You're always on. First on every week virtually.
They missed you saying how they were all to get how they were all going to get free CDs. They missed you saying that. So that means
I missed that.
So that means they don't know how. That means they don't know how they're going to get how to get a free CD. So it's all right.
Never mind them. I missed it. I missed it. Good evening, says Davy Logan, and he wants to wish his daughter a very happy birthday. So, Davy, tell me your daughter's name. Davy Logan, daughter. That's what I'm having to write down. I need a wee bit more than that, dear. Need a wee bit more than that. Em and Denise are watching in Coke. Roberta and Eddie Baird are watching. Jean Kerr is in Ballinamallard. Victoria Sheridan's in. Keith Austin is... Oh, sorry, I've mentioned Keith Austin. Geraldine Stewart's in. Tommy Dorns is watching here in Coleraine. William Smith is watching. Myrtle and Robert are in Ballystillen watching. Evening hat-trick all round. Evening all hat-trick tonight. Eddie Torney. Round... sorry, I've missed the beginning of that one. Oh, round the evening off, mate. Well, especially if Wee Blues winning. Well, that is the question of the day. Will the third Muskehound be played tonight or not? That is the question. That is the question. Let's see who are we getting through. Alan Finlay is watching. He says, good evening, everyone. Looking to see if the lonely Muskehound gets to smile. Oh, Joshua Mars says there's going to be more accordions on than last night. He's been told. Jimmy Graham thought that the volume will go up for the accordion bands. Edward Fellows
not when I'm in control of the volumes they want.
Craig Curry says, turn up the volume, Valerie. All I can hear is Roy vaping. Sounds like Darth Vader. Well, we're going to play that Star Wars tune again for you, so we thought we would get the sound effects in. Glenn Galloway Samuels is watching in Norfolk. Keith McEnany watching. Carl says, that's it now. Thank you, Carl. James Reed said, I was sounding quiet, but it's all better. Let me tell you, James, there's many a person say that a quiet me is better than anything else. Margaret and Billy are watching from Port Glasgow. Robert Abercrombie is in Govan in Glasgow. And Ronnie Hyman is from a cool Portrush. So many about, Ronnie, huh? Is it busy today? I know that Coleraine was fairly quiet, thankfully, but I don't know about Portrush. Aine is watching us this evening. Good evening, Aine. Robert Burton is watching in Loyalist Cambuslang. Were you making hand signals, Roy? Jimmy Graham was wanting to know what's up with the hand signals. Jonathan, Julie, and Ross are watching in West Lothian. Tad is watching as always. Trevor Quigley's in with as well. Tony Peacocks is definitely quiet tonight. I'm just a quiet critter. That's what it is. Billy and Irene Sheen are watching. Now, the other band who should have had a parade today, and I'm sure most local bands here would have been over to it, is the Cookstown Anderson, or Constable Anderson. I need to go in the gym tonight again, don't I? Because the words are just going everywhere. Start it already. The Constable Anderson Memorial Band, who I believe I read, someone to keep me right here, didn't I say 60th anniversary? I think it's the 60th anniversary.
60th, it would have been their 60th anniversary.
I read it earlier, and then I'm going, is it 60 or was it 40? But it's the 60th anniversary. Thank you, Roy. So their parade would have been tonight as well. This is them at Ballyclare Protestant Boys Parade in 2017. Enjoy the clip. Excellent there from Constable Anderson. Oh my goodness, one of the early parades of the year, and aren't we missing it? Oh, something awful. Corey Godfrey says, good evening from the Ballykeel 6. Is there a Ballykeel 6? I know there's a 1, 2, 3, 4.
No,
there's
well,
a 5.
The 3, 4, 5, and 6 are not really, but it's 3. Ballykeel 2, 3, 4, 5. No, well, I don't even know where Ballykeel 6 would be. This is that new
Glenn Miller. Glenn Miller is with us. I saw he was posting up. The sound is terrible now, says Davy Pritchard. We can hear Valerie. Oi! Glenn Miller was posting up photos of alcohol earlier on, so wait, you see the comments descending. They're just there's going to be White Sox comments galore. We dolls comments. Kenwood says, cheers, Valerie. Try our best and love getting over to Belfast and up to Scotland. And listen, we love seeing you. And look, it's what I always say about bands. Everybody's taste is completely different, and that's what makes it such a wonderful scene. Ian McKee has got his first request on ever. He says, Valerie, put a shout out to Spam, Ginny, and the lads of Gringars Thistle. I know one of my favourite clips on here is Anzacs by Gringars. Oh, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. But unfortunately not on tonight, because tonight is Viewers Request. So we are going to go the second night of a Viewers Request. So we put on our post on Monday, and the first 50 people, I was astounded. I think it was filled in about 10 minutes, maybe even less. Couldn't get over it. But our first person in tonight at number 31 is Rachel Bailey. You chose, oh, what a great way to start the show, Gertrude Starr. It's not hard to know who picked the clips this evening, is it? Mrs. Fletcher Kerr picked the clips this evening, and that was a wonderful clip of Mrs. Fletcher Kerr's husband chucking the stick in the air. Well done, Lisa. And again, a big thank you to Lisa for picking all the clips last night and tonight. She absolutely, both her and Roy saved me so much work. It's great. It really is. Jim Laughlin is watching, as is Claire Sweeney. Caroline Stirrup says, good evening. It's all right. I've just poured my first gin. The speech will get better. Robert Goldsmith says, good old-fashioned tune. Jim Laughlin says, can't wait to hear the sweet sound out in the roads again. Oh, Jim, can't we? Oh dear. Grace Curry says she loves seeing nice straight lines in the band. Don't we all, Grace? Nothing worse than a crooked line. Adrian Mavena, somebody tell that laddie's out of step. That was the back row of Whitburn. I noticed that. And the worst thing about it was he had quite a swagger and the guy next to him had quite a swagger. So they were swaggering in opposite sides and it just wasn't working. Jim Boyd says, good evening, everyone. Norse says, good evening. Hope you enjoyed the wee clip last night, Norse. Jackie Boyle says she can hear great. Laura Carlisle is watching as well. Tommy Chicky Robinson is watching. David U. Pritchard with all his smart comments is watching. Gartex Art is watching from Analong. Oh, that's a nice... Oh, looks to be a nice pitch. I'll have to go onto that page later on and have a wee look at their art. Stephen Cole is watching in Londonderry. Hugh Solomon in Loyalist Clackmanahan. Eddie Tony wants to know, could you hurry up till we complete the hat trick? We see that is a problem, Eddie. What if we don't? Are we going to liars boxes? Sweet.
Get the PPS to review the decision.
The PPS. Good, Roy. Oh, he's on the ball tonight. He's on the ball tonight, is our Roy. Andrew Boyle is watching in Lark Hall. Teal Sinclair says, evening all from Dover. Missed last night moving into our wee flat. That was a very bad arrangement, Teal. You could have watched the show and then moved in before and after. Or you could have had it on, playing while you were moving. Jackie Boyles in Glasgow. Brian Turner says, hello. If I remember right, Brian, you're in Coleraine here. I believe I know your sister-in-law. Tommy is watching in Les Mahago. Hopefully I got that right. Ryan McGuinness says, happy anniversary to the wife of 17 years today. Now, what I want to know, Ryan, is who gets the medal? I have this odd feeling it might be the wife. I have this odd sneaking suspicion it might be the wife. Colin is watching the form on the phone and the football as well. Please don't tell me the score unless we're winning, okay? If Liverpool's winning, I want to hear the score. If we're losing, I don't want to hear, okay?
What was the Chelsea score today, did you hear?
Who?
Chelsea score.
Who were they playing?
West Brom.
Oh, I thought it was United. I just assumed it was United. If you're glowing about score.
No. United's not playing till tomorrow. I was just interested in the Chelsea score for a friend.
No, don't know. Harold Riley says, well done to Linfield, 9 points clear. I heard someone earlier on saying on Facebook that was the title awarded now. Is that right? I have no idea. Scott Gray, great music from your friend in Loyalist Denny, Scotland. Glad to have you with us, Scott. Billy Fox. Glad to be watching from High Ballantyre. I have to say your Facebook name give me pause there for a second. Jasmine Cullen is watching, as is Robert Wasson. No tea. Let's see. Bands are nice and to listen to, says Joshua. Then Gary Neville commenting that Liverpool game. Oh my goodness, aren't you right there? Ian Nicholson is watching, as is Deirdre Spears White. Alan Graydon is in list below. And Craig Curry says he starts to worry if Valerie goes quiet. Let me tell you, you're not the only one. There's either a row brewing or I'm not well. But on to our first accordion of the night. Aren't you all so delighted? However, the bad news is it's only one of two, because all the accordion fans were really, really quick off the mark and got loads of accordions on last night. So there's only two tonight, but they're two good ones. What do you mean, whoa? There's two good ones. Up next for Lorna Walker. Well done. You were in at number 32 and you asked for a little bit of a Staffordstown. This is them on the 12th day in 2020. Excellent there from Staffordstown. Definitely no passengers in that band. And good to see a nice strong drum corps there of 6 drummers. Sometimes accordion bands can struggle for drummers, I have to say, but good to see a good strong drum corps.
Question.
Yes. What rubbish is this going to be now?
Another way you always say you can't smell because you're concentrating. Does that mean that those ones in that band are better players, that they don't have to concentrate and still can play well and still can smile and still can acknowledge people on the side of the road and still can go and look like they're enjoying themselves? Does that mean everybody else with a stern face is like struggling to try to remember how to actually play a squeezy box?
No, just me. Plus I'm a crabbit cow. I don't smile on parade because I don't want to smile at you. It's as simple as that. Does that answer the question? Is that you answered now? Alan,
you always say that we always say none of the accordion players ever look like they're enjoying themselves. They all just look sort of depressed and everything else. But yet there's Staffordstown accordion. Every time I've seen Staffordstown accordion band out and everything else, and took pictures of them, they're always smiling and always look like they're enjoying themselves, and they still play well.
The accordion bands was playing. They're smiling and laughing at people who were clapping and cheering them. So if you clapped and cheered more accordion bands, they would all smile at you. I would certainly smile at someone clapping and cheering me at the side of the road. Well, maybe it wouldn't be a smile; it would be a smirk, when I sort of wee grimace, but more so than an actual smile. Nobody gets smiles from me. It's as simple as that. Alan Friendly says that Ryan, if the wife had only killed you, she'd be single and free again. Just saying what she's thinking, he says. Mary Cabaday is watching from Falkirk. Andy Greer's watching. Jimmy Graham says, I know, Jimmy, listen, I have the first gin poured. The speech is bound to get better. Just let you know, Glenn Miller was drinking. That's what it was, Adrian. Fat frogs, he says. Today, God help us later. Yes, could be rough. Good rough. Big A of BSOU is watching. Ryan says he would have got out in Good Friday Agreement. John China is watching. Does this mean that you're off your ban, China? I know that you did send maybe PM there saying what was the abuse tonight? What was the abuse tonight? Evening Kitty Cat. I've got Kitty Cat tonight. I always wait to see what name China's going to call me next. Kitty Cat tonight. We can see that you're watching, so does that mean that you can comment now? Because normally we can't see when you're watching. He wants to know is the left.
If he's still in the comment ban, he can come in and he can watch, and it'll still come up and say that he's watching, but that's it. He can't comment.
Okay. He wants to know, has the left-handed screwdriver been on yet? Nobody said that they were going to be on. You're all assuming that the third Muscahine is going to be on this evening, and you should never assume. It makes an ass out of you and me. And one of the dogs is farting. Stinking. Oh my God, but it's rotten. It's really bad. I'm sorry, but it is.
Shall we play the next band while you fumigate the house?
You can play the next band till I get the door open to fumigate this place. Chris Baxter from Port Stewart, you were in there at number 33 and you asked for Pride of the Band, a local band here. We got Freeman last night, Pride of the Band tonight. This is them playing at Port. But I'm rushing to get through this to get to the door open. This is playing at Bovidi in 2019. And if you see me sit with a gas mask after I come back, you'll know why. The worst thing about having two dogs is you don't know which one to blame. I'm sorry, but it just was out of me before thought. I'm afraid it was hey, there's no back doors in this show, that's for sure. Very professional outfit, but we don't hold anything back. Adrian Ravenna said he'd seen a video of Staffordstown a few years back with over 40 accordions. I can remember in the blue shirts, they used to be massive. It was as if they just were coming and coming and coming, and they were just constant, really, really big. Roy Fisher says, sorry, I'm late. Hello all. That's okay, Roy. We will excuse you for the once. But honestly, you see, starting next week, I'm getting back to the detention and the lines. It's getting late. It's getting on a wee bit more, because I saw Joy Cullen there earlier on saying about apologies for her being late as well. Great sound, says Dougie, for a wee band. Well done. That was Staffordstown. Eddie Tony says, give us a wee bit of Pride of the Band, please. Are you psychic, Eddie, or what? Because that was before they were played. Or somebody slipped in the tune list. Did you slip in the playlist? Or was it that Lisa one? Huh?
I didn't see the playlist until 25 to 7, so then I was too busy getting things set up for the show.
There's a few saying they can hardly hear you. Not a bad thing, but they're saying
I've changed mics. I don't know what's going on with this snowball.
Okay. No worries. Sandra Tannehill is watching, as is Thelma Nicky. Anne Louise Loughlin says, we don't want to smile. Well, when you think about it, right? When you're in a flute band or another type of band, like you're looking at beauties like us at the side of the road. But when we're in an accordion band looking out, we're looking at you. What would we smile for? No response, Roy.
No.
Any Newton Arts on band, says Jimmy. What do you want me to find out, Jimmy? That's just to keep watching. Any chance of a wee replay of last night's drum major with the swagger, says Andrew Boyle. That was, of course, Starnaka. I'd be only too happy to play more accordion bands, Andrew, but I think there might be a few which would object. Joshua says we smile as much as fluters. You're right. Alan McGraw Kat says move a bit closer to the mic, so hopefully Mike's sound or Roy's sound is okay.
I've ever seen Joshua. The only time I've ever seen Joshua smile was whenever we saw more young defenders coming down the road whenever I was down in Kilkeel.
Lots of you doubting it was the dog. Honestly, it was the dog. Definitely was the dog. Trevor says, should always enjoy yourself in parade. For some people, it's the only time they get away from the stresses of a work and going, absolutely. And I always enjoy myself on parade. I may not look like it, but I am enjoying myself. Robert Goldsmith is the one that smelt it, dealt it. Poor dog getting the blame. Listen. Everybody's seen you lifting your cheek. Old habits die hard, Valerie. Drop one, then blame the poor dog. It was a bloody dog, you lot. Let's see. Brilliant band.
There's a public notice. Graham Gillingham saying, could please ask people to avoid the Cloughfern corner because cars are getting burnt out. There's riots in Newton Abbey tonight.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. It's probably our own cars. I totally get the frustration, but don't wreck our own areas. Go into the fall, some places like that there and wreck it instead. Brilliant band there, Pride of the Band, says Stephen McKinney. Tony's saying riots in Newton Abbey. Eddie says he knows my playlist. How do you know my playlist, Eddie? What about some Donaghadee now? No, you're not going to get any Donaghadee now at all, Eddie. So there you go. You don't know my playlist that well. Mary Irvine is watching in Wigan. Lisa denies all knowledge of sending Eddie any playlists. Auntie Taggart says it would be nice to see Royal Crown Ards in its day. I take it that's a band that doesn't exist any longer. It's really hard getting older bands, especially if there's no video of them from years ago. You know, if they're sort of like stopped walking in the early 80s, late 80s, the chances of getting videos of them are few and far between, which is really disappointing. Let's see. Lisa said she'd never sent any lists to Eddie, but Annal Finlay says, "I right," and you had nothing to do with getting the girl on. Honestly, it wasn't Lisa at all. But Brian Douglas, hope that you are watching because you were in at number 34 and you asked for Sir George Wright Memorial. Very short wee clip there from Sir George Wright. I was just getting settled down to have a wee listen in between checking everything else. Macrofelt District there were in touch. They wanted me to give another wee shout out to their talk that is happening on Thursday the 8th. So that'll be this Thursday night coming. That is, of course, to talk about the creation of Northern Ireland. It'll be held on Zoom on the Macrofelt District number 3 Facebook page. So don't forget to join. I'm sure that'll be an interesting talk.
Just while we're on a wee bit of adverts. On the screen now, there is a picture of the Miller Memorial's new 110th anniversary badge. And they've just arrived an hour ago, basically. And they are £4, including postage. If you're interested in purchasing said badge, contact a member of Miller Memorial.
Do you see the way there Stephen Feenley got those after our 100th show? So, but I was supposed you could give ones away for the 110th show.
That's a great idea. 110th show for 110th badge.
110 badges for the 110th show, Stephen. That is terrible kind of you. That is very, very generous from the Miller Memorial. Well done. That's a great gesture. God love them. Zoom in more on the badge, Jimmy Graham says. Ronnie Hyman was up in Belfast. He says, just a train journey. Are you allowed to go on trains still? Do you have to wear your mask? Brilliant time, brilliant band, great timing, says Stephen McKinney there, but Sir George White. Davy Logan, excellent. That is a nice badge, actually. Now I see it, that is a nice badge. That's lovely. Right, where are we going to next? F-Flit's nice and strong. Jimmy Graham wanted to know, had there been any footage of the Albert accordion? Do you mean Albert Bridge? Because we've definitely had them on before. I'm starting to worry about young Mr. Torney because he's now predicted our next band, Donaghadee. So you're reading through the comments, basically, Eddie, is what you're doing. I know you. Next up, Jim Stout. You are based in Donaghadee and you asked for a little bit of Donaghadee flutes and drums. Delighted to be able to play them. Hope Jensen is watching. Hope he's included in this clip. I'm sure if Lisa's picked it, he probably is. This is them at Lambeg Orange and Blue Parade in 2018. Well played there, Donica D. Playing one that I always associate with Ballykeal, only band that I think I've ever heard playing that, apart from Ballykeal. And damn good job of it, they made. But what's with this Sticks business? I noticed they just did that at the end there. When did this start being a thing? I noticed that last night was it, who was it we noticed last night? Carrickfergus? Mm-hmm. And then tonight, seems to be a thing now. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's been that long since it's in a band. Johnny Miller says that's a nice badge. Jimmy Graham would like one of the badges. I know that if you contact the Miller Memorial Facebook page, they will be available for sale. So get in there quick before they're sold out, basically, because Stephen's keeping 110 for all of us in the show here. Glenn Miller says he thought the 110 was how many times they've been on the virtual band parade. It feels like it. It really, really does. It really feels like it. James Reid said the Miller Memorial badge is a topper. Charlie Panda wants to know, is there any William Miller Memorial? We played them last night, Charlie. That means you must have missed them. Fantastic looking badge, lovely badge. Eddie says they're hardly ever on. Margaret says, are you giving that out to how many times you're in the black book? Eddie says, I won't spoil anymore, but stay tuned. The hat trick is coming. Listen, if you don't stop being so cocky, I am actually going to delete them if they are included in the program already. I'm just going to remove them, okay? Nearly as often. What do you mean nearly as often as Valerie? Hardly ever on, nearly as often as Valerie. I would kind of need to be on most shows, you idiot, you. Let's see. East Skull Young Loyalist Fife and Drum t-shirt on sale at £15 each. Anyone interested? Money raised going to 3 different charities this year. I saw that. It looks like an absolute cracker, and they are kindly donating some of the money towards Light of Foot, which is one of the chosen 3 charities. I saw them. They're lovely, lovely photographs, and a lovely t-shirt. So I'll definitely have to get myself one. How do you pay for them? I'm in Glasgow. I'm sure they will arrange PayPal or something. Just getting a wee message through there, so I'll have to check that out, Faye. I'll check that one out. How do you pay for them? As she's in Glasgow. I'm sure there's a PayPal arrangement in some way. Nice bit of drumming, says Davy Logan there. Especially love that drumming. Says, is there any truth that there's going to be a 12th this year? Well, listen, there's going to be a 12th in some form. There's no way they can keep us in. So look at it this way. The very, very least that's going to happen is probably the same as what we got last year, though maybe people will be a wee bit more organised this year because they know now what can happen. Worst case scenario, that's what we'll have. So we'll definitely see something. There might be District 12th. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for District 12th. We just don't know. It's so hard to predict. I mean, you've got so many, for instance, with this being Easter, they could, with numbers going up over the weekend, people being out, Easter Sunday parades and all that kind of stuff. China's just text, are you kidding me? Played that Chin Jack Tar when King William wore shorts. Me bands, play it now. With King William wore shorts. Oh my goodness. So there's with Easter Sunday parades and people going down the port and things like that there, I would be concerned that they're maybe going to, delay lifting the restrictions for a while, because everybody's been out and spreading it this weekend. But then you also have the PPS decision last week, which has really pissed people off. And people might just turn around and say, we didn't know what the restrictions were. The thing about it is we're such a law-abiding people that, like the bands and the Orange Order will put through 11 bar ones and stay very, very, stay very lawful and legal. Whereas not everyone's the same for their parades. But it's hard to tell, but I am so hopeful. Fingers crossed we're getting at least district. I don't think we'll get full parades, full 12ths the way we normally do, but hopefully for districts. Now, where are we going to next? Norma Wallace, you were in at number 36 and you requested a little bit of Castlederg Young Loyalists. This is them at the Portrush Parade in 2018. Excellent there from Castledurg. I always love watching that band. They always have also very innovative takes on tunes, which I love listening and hearing their next idea. Now, there should be a wee photo coming up on the screen here for me, Roy. This is from Biggie. I'm sure most of you know who Biggie is. He's enjoying himself up in Lima Vegas, he says. And he wants to know, could we give a big shout out to Lynn, who took cold, is now watching us from the living room. Quite right you are, Lynn. You're not mad like them idiots out in the garden. I'm with you, Lynn, totally. I had the door open there to remove the stench, and I had to close it again because it's cold. Up the clocker and DAB, says Biggie. So hope you're all having a good night up there in Lima Vegas. I'd say, based on the box sitting beside you there, Biggie, it could be a long night. Now, I got a wee message in from a band member who had submitted their 11-bar-1 to the PSNI, and they got a quite informal email back from the PSNI and know of one other band who had got something similar. So if you have submitted your 11-bar-1 to the PSNI, and if you got any quite informal emails back from them, do give us a wee shout via PM so that we know and can kind of coordinate the information, and then everybody knows kind of probably that they're all putting back the same response. If any time that we need it to be united, it's absolutely at this time. The other thing is that I just want to give a bit of a shout out here to Paul in Drumderg, because he very kindly shared the risk assessment that they have done for their event last year, because obviously, you may have to do one this year. I'm not a big fan of submitting it at all, purely because once they start you get into doing all that documentation, that they might ask you to continue doing it, and we have enough documentation and paperwork to do to have a parade. But if you do, Paul has kindly said, that if we want to share that, we can, and adjust the details of it. So if you do feel that you need something like that, there, do get in touch. We should absolutely all be helping each other at this point in time. Now, let's get a few comments. Oh, I've missed a few for some reason. Miller Memorial are very good band, says Jerry. They walk in with Glasgow with 49 District for as long as I can remember. Also lead the parade. Ballantyre flute band myself, says Leslie, but I would love to see a wee bit of Balrashane flute band. Oh, Leslie, wouldn't we all? Leslie, wouldn't we all? They were on last week because I chose them. But yes, next Friday night will be our band's Crossgar Young Defenders Parade, the first of the year. Yes, next Friday night we will, of course, have them on first in the show, because once the parades start, what we always try and do is feature the bands who should have had parades that night on the show. Can get in touch with me, says George MacArthur. Oh yes, that's about the t-shirts. Yes, had to think there for a minute. One of the first tapes I had about 40 years ago, thought they were great then and great now. That's Castledurg. Yes. Eddie Tony says small local 12th, probably with lodges this time. I'm hoping so. I do feel sorry for the Grand Orange Lodge making the decision, because obviously some districts are bigger than others. If you consider East Belfast and the crowd that would be at East Belfast, versus like maybe a country town or something like that, there it's very difficult, and it's very difficult to kind of choose one guidance that will suit all of the districts and all of the lodges. And if they have something, then they're going to be lambasted. If they don't have something, they're going to be lambasted. So it doesn't matter what they do, somebody's always not going to be happy. So I think the safety of all our members, both bands and lodges, is paramount. And you have to also remember, even in Coleraine District here, if we had a Coleraine District 12th, there still would potentially be people having to travel on buses, and that's the danger point. It's not so much the parades on the street or the crowds on the street or anything like that. It's the traveling and the getting to it, and not everybody drives either. Charlie Panda says, I better not be missing out again. No, I sincerely hope not, Charlie. I hope none of us are missing out. Sharon Madole says, have I been missing the Monkstown YCV? I've been watching intently. Well, not yet, Cheryl. Whether they're on later or not, only one way to find out. William Smith says, tomorrow will tell a deal. It sure will. It sure will. Alan Finlay wants to know when the Brunswick CD is released. Will you put up a link, please? I certainly will, Alan. I've heard that there's a few of the marches, and I know what the marches are because I will admit that I played bass
And
through the CD.
talking about the Brunswick
Oh, I know
CD.
what you're going to say.
So, Valerie last night, whenever she introduced the clip and everything else, was saying it's full of the younger ones in the band. Failure to say that Valerie was actually playing, so that takes the average age. You know, Valerie plays the bass part of it in all the tunes, so that takes the average age then of the bands up to what, about 100 and even if you had 50 or 60, 16, 17-year-olds playing, that would take the average age of the band up to about 100 and something, I reckon. So, yeah.
Listen, I've decided on this year, on my birthday, I'm not going to go up any further in years. I'm going to start coming down again. I've gone far enough. I'm not going any further.
199 then.
Yes, I will absolutely let you know when the Brunswick CD is being released, because it will be a cracker. I cannot wait to hear it. Oh, 0-0 half time, Arsenal Liverpool. Don't I hear that? Oh God, as long as they're not beat, for goodness sake. They just completely fell out at the moment, and I don't know why. Even a bit of stick lifting go on Castledurg. That was very nice, wasn't it? I noticed that myself. No passengers playing brilliant. We mentioned to Janaki committee members delivering Easter eggs around the band associated children today. Do you know something? It's another thing that bands do. There was another band in Scotland that I had shared the post on. They had went round with Easter eggs for the children in the local community as well. Bands are so good in their community, especially with the kids. And, you know, I just don't think people appreciate it enough. And over the past year with this whole COVID carry on, it really, it really has struck home with me just how great they are. With the bands, it's fantastic. Valerie, do you have any like foot badges left? Actually, I do. I would need to get back to getting rid of those, actually, or they'll be kicking my butt. Every bit as good as some melody bands that play the 1914 march, says Joshua. Brilliant band. Lots of praise there coming in for Drumderg. Cracking wee band, says Tony. Morse works a little bit late tonight. You were ranting earlier on Facebook, Morse. I have no idea about bin lorries. I have no idea what you were on about. Close the door. I did close the door, well, because my legs were getting cold. I am definitely in the house. Keep them warm, that's for sure. Stuart McClemens is watching from Bells Hill, cousin of mine. Hiya, Stuart. Hope you're keeping well. Josie O'Donnell is watching. Is Black Skull Glasgow on tonight? Again, I'm not telling you. You have to keep watching. It's the Blue Bag Brigade is the problem, says Colin. I do agree. I totally do agree. The difficulty is, like, you know, you'll have sensible people like myself and yourselves, I'm sure, stand at the side of the road, maybe just having a very sensible drink. And then you have like the kids who would be going crazy at the weekend anyway, but they just happen to congregate because there's a band on. And then the police can't be seen to take the alcohol off one set without taking it off the other. So if they cut down on the Blue Bag Brigade, as we all call them, then they also end up having to cut down on the people who are being sensible. So it's, you know, and I feel sorry for the bands, because the bands can't do nothing. And I know, especially in East Belfast, it's a big problem. Big shout out to Norman and Sandra McCaig, who are patiently waiting on Ballyhalbert. You might be waiting a while. Well, Alliance, it's time for everyone to join their local lodge. Absolutely. Totally. And if there's any ladies out there in Coleraine area, in fact, we even have members from the Macrofelt area. So if you feel like joining a ladies' lodge, ladies, get in touch, because we would love to have you. I always said I was never going to join the ladies' lodge. And I joined because my mum wanted to join. So I said, well, I'll go and join along with you. And I actually really love it. I really love it. It's nearly as good as being in a band on the 12th day, I have to admit. It's nearly as good. But a lot lighter load, I'll tell you that much, than accordion. Glenn says, but there's loads of ladies' lodges around the country. It doesn't necessarily have to be my lodge, but there's loads of ladies' lodges around the country. Glenn says, get Benjamin Button on to inspire me. I'm only as young as I feel, says Norris. Sometimes I don't act very old. Norris, dear. Ian McAllister. According to Val, only one person asked, so was it Norman or Sandra? It was neither of those. It was neither of those, Ian, that asked for Ballyhalbert. but that doesn't say that they're in tonight. Any bands on tonight? Oh, Will Mullen, you of all people. Just for that, I'm saying nothing the rest of the night. Samuel McQuiston, you were number 39 because 37 and 38 were duplicate choices of other bands. And you asked for a little bit of Rathcoole Protestant Boys. This is them playing at Cloughfern Young Conkers. Next band up, number 40, requested by Eddie Torney, obviously. This is Ballyhalbert playing at Lisburn Defenders Festival of Melody Flute Bands. Robbie Tosh McIntosh, you were in there with number 41. Also requesting the same band was 44 Robert Scott and 72 Scooter Carl. This is Netherton Road during the Glasgow Big Walk in 2016. Next up is 42, Rhys McCabe. You asked for Randallstown Sons of Ulster. This is them at their own parade in 2017. Mark Anderson, you are up next with our only silver band for tonight. You asked for Tamletmore Silver, and this is them at Derry Lawrence 50th anniversary. Excellent. Next up is Kyle Williamson. You were in at number 47, asked for Little Shankill Protestant Boys. This is them on the 12th, 2012. Number 49 was Ian Patterson, who requested a little bit of Ballylesson Old Boys. This is them at Demurray Protestant Boys Parade in 2000 and something. I don't know. 16. not nice without the banter in between, is it?
It's my time for a wee rant.
No, no
Yes,
rants.
I'm having.
No rants
I'm
tonight.
having.
No
no,
rants tonight. No rants tonight. I'm not huffing. I'm not huffing.
she's
I'm not huffing at all.
She's
But I'm
not
just
huffing, but it's just. I know it was just to let people see what it is like.
It's just to let you see what it's like without a wee bit of chat.
But the chat is what makes this show different from a YouTube playlist. If all you want to listen to is bands, they can go and listen to YouTube
We
playlist.
don't need a rant. We don't need a rant. I'm not huffing at all. I just wanted to let you see for about 5 minutes what it was like without banter in between, because it's what makes it makes it for me. I love chatting to you all. I love reading out your messages. I love the crack. To me, it needs it. It just doesn't work without it. You know. So yeah.
Consider it was me that told you that from the very start.
Exactly. For once, Roy, you were right. But like, you need it. You need the chat. You need the chat in between. Otherwise, it's a YouTube playlist. And what's the point? It's China says it was good without my chat in between. No, I'm not huffing, folks. I'm not huffing, but I'm just letting you to see and see what it's like without it. You need that little bit of conversation. It's what keeps us all going. It's what keeps.
Plus, it gives me a breather in between.
Thank you for all the people who came to my support, but it was there's so many things going through my head whenever the tunes are playing that I'm wanting to tell and talk to you and discuss and like saying. I couldn't do it for very long anyway. If we had to get to the stage where we would have to have no banter in between, we would definitely have to go to a YouTube playlist because I couldn't cope without it. Now, one of my favourite melody bands asked for by Tony Peacock. Tony, I'm so glad you requested this. You were actually number 50. Thankfully for duplicates and all that, there people asking for the same band in between. You managed to get well in the queue, and you asked for a little bit of William King Memorial. This is them at the Apprentice Boys Parade in Londonderry. 1-0 Liverpool. Oh yes, good. If we have the time, could you rerun the band that was on mute? I saw those comments coming in. I actually checked my sound whenever I saw the comments coming in, and I had sound fine. I know others had sound fine. Maybe because we've seen, we've saved a few minutes or two when I wasn't talking. We can maybe fit Netherton Road in again after this for those that didn't hear it. But we don't know what it must have been. Facebook. I mean,
sound here. I have sound on Facebook.
Yeah, and Lisa had sound, and I had sound, and all that kind of stuff. No football chat, says Eddie. Yes, but just because Liverpool are one, and we're allowed football chat for that one. So up next, William King. This is them. I don't know what year, but it's at the Apprentice Boys Parade.
2018 at the Apprentice Boys of Londonderry's Parade on the 11th of August 2018.
Somebody commenting there about the lovely uniform making them stand out on Derry Day. Don't make the mistake I did. There was one night I called it purpley red. It's not, it's crimson. 2-1, 2-0 Liverpool. Yes. Happy now. Happy now. So, Jacqueline Bennett, hope you're watching. You had a few requests in, Jacqueline. So, I am afraid that I have to take your first one of them, because you got in for 51 at this request, and then number 53 was Ballyloan concert flute. Luckily, both of them were really good quality, but the first one you had put down was Ballyclare Victoria Flute Band. This is them playing at a contest in 1994. What a march. I adore that march. And what a tempo. What a tempo. Yes, Lisa, you picked well. You picked well for me. I adore that march. That's one of the best marches. But then I like a lot of marches. Penny, tell me, Penny, I need to know, is it in your like list or on your very, very extended hate list? Tell me, Penny, I need to know. But I absolutely love that. Would you stop doing that? Because I'm going to be world of my own conducting. I know that
just so people would like to see it.
Trust me, I do not need the gin to conduct like that there. You ought to see it when I'm driving. Conducting and driving at the same time are not a good mix for me. Not a good mix for me at all. Now, 54 was Mark Freeburn. Mark, I hope that you are watching because you requested a little bit of Market Hill Protestant Boys at Sinnott's, and this is them playing at Sinnott's True Blues 2018. Don't think I'll conduct this one in the same way, though. I wasn't conducting. Slightly slower pace there. Slightly slower pace. I've just got word. It was Balrasheen LOL 431's Easter draw earlier, just slightly evening tonight, or slightly earlier this evening within the past 30 minutes. And what ended up happening is my dad get tickets for the draw, for obviously for the lodge to sell, and my brother get tickets for the draw for also the lodge to sell. And my mum, we just hand her the money and she writes the names on the tickets. She get first prize of £1,000 and my brother gets second prize of 200 quid. I think they wrote the wrong names and the wrong tickets. It's definitely, those are my tickets. Those are my tickets. No doubt about it. Those are the ones that I got. So they're just after texting, and the brother says, thanks for playing. Some people are just winners. Jeremy, we saw it. It doesn't matter what I do. He always wins in a bloody draw. Oh, it's deadly. Now, next up, we have an accordion band. Yay!
I'll be back in about 20 minutes.
Oh, shush you. Charlotte Quirk and Leslie Quirk were both keen to get this band in because Charlotte was at number 55 and Leslie was at number 56. So you asked for, and I know this will please a few, this is the Albert Rath Memorial Band, otherwise known as the Vets, at the Imperial Corps of Drums Day in 2011.
Arthur Rath, not Albert Rath.
I can see that written in front of me. Why did I say Albert? It's the way wet. He said my head turned.
Sorry, mate.
A lot of you requesting a Lona tenner and on that off my man offering to sell her CDs and badges. He's having a mission. We'll not see any of that money. That will go straight into a bank account for her next American holiday. That's where that's going. We'll not see a penny of it. We'll still get our pound Easter egg and enjoy every bite of it as well. Now, Jamie Lee Benty Bunton. Now that's a new name. Thankfully, that is someone that and Charlotte and Leslie Quirk are two that I haven't seen in the request before. So I'm so glad to see people whose names I don't normally see on the requests. You asked for a little bit of Lower Woodstock. 3-0 Liverpool. Oh! Eddie says that must be surely every accordion band in the country played now. Are you mad? You mad? Whole lot more than that. Whole lot more than that. Jamie Lee, you had asked for a little bit of Lower Woodstock. This is them at Purple Stars Parade in 2016. Can someone tell me is Lower Woodstock still on the road? I know that they were off the road, and then I thought they were getting back again. I don't know. And I don't want to put another band off the road tonight. So let me know if they're still going. I hope they are, because they were always a good wee band. Have a wee listen to Lower Woodstock. few of you saying there that they are still on the road, which I'm really, really glad to hear. Am I right in saying they used to have a female lead drummer? And she was brilliant. She was really, really, really good. And, you know,
And
just
she lives down
completely...
in
there's-
Ballymena, or well, she lives in Brushane now.
She was a brilliant lead drummer
She
for
was
them.
in, she
Really,
was in
really
hospital
good.
down in Dublin for really close to losing her life, and
Honestly.
because, yeah, that's why she's not in bands anymore and everything else. But
Wow.
she'd nearly passed away down in Dublin.
Goodness.
But she
Goodness.
lives in Brushane now.
China says fair play to Lure Woodstock in the middle of so many bands in the East, poaching members and so on, because for some reason young fellas want to go to a big band. And as many of you are saying, you know, it's quality, not quantity. And I always say that one of the worst parades I ever walked in was when I walked in the biggest band. And it was horrible. It was horrible. I didn't like it at all. I prefer, plus the fact that when you have big bands, you have more passengers. People can think they get away with doing very little, and when it's a smaller band, you everybody's working for their pennies, so they are. Listen, you lot talking about we've got the quota for the month, maybe even the year. The accordion bands, not a mission. Brian Goody says that not yet, Eddie. They haven't played the Carson since the last lockdown. Now, Brian Goody. Coming out with that, you know, that's not true. It's not that long. In fact, I believe
I'll go on strike. I'll just go on strike and refuse to play any more accordions.
one of us on strike tonight's enough. What was I going to say? The last time we actually had the Carson on, it was, I believe, was it not? It was the night before the Muskehounds pick. I think so. It's only a couple of weeks. Because we had all the East Belfast accordion bands on. I don't think we had any of the East Belfast flutes on that night. Now, Keith Quigley, I hope that you are watching. You were in at number 58. You requested a little bit of Castle Dawson. This is them finishing the parade in 2019. Are we going to do Netherton Road again, Roy, for those that the sound that faulty? Could we do that?
Well, the problem being it could still be faulty for them. It could just be...
Well, it was playing fine for me, but we'll see what we can do after Castle Dawson. This is Castle Dawson Flute in 2019.
Birthdays.
I was just checking. Now, I had sound in the PC, but I don't know.
That's on my phone. So that's the sound coming through on my phone, which is completely different to all my other things.
So, lots of us, some of us is sound, some of us didn't have sound. So we don't know what. So I don't know why that would be. I don't know why that would be. Weird.
I've got absolutely no idea why
weird.
it's just that one.
No, obviously something we Facebook there. We could play it again, and I could hold the phone up to the mic, but then I would be at a different time from what you're saying. Yeah, no, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work at all. Right, now where are we going next? I noticed a comment there, and it just stuck with my head. It's off. It's off my screen now, but it just stuck in my head because it was Glenn Miller said it must be the alcohol, but I could nearly go another accordion band about now. Love it. We're slowly converting you to the cause.
Mr. Miller, can I just say that your place in the Black Book is very, very much tethering on the edge at the moment.
You're nearly out of it, Glenn. You're nearly out of it.
I'm going to have to restrict the fat frogs that are going in your direction. That's it. You are getting cut.
Hey, you're redeeming yourself, Glenn. You really are. Funny, I was just thinking there, that might be an idea for a show some week. You were talking about Dinah's Delight was mentioned in the book. Did you mention a lot of tunes in the book? Because we could maybe have a Made to Parade. That's what we should have done the night you were on. We could have had Made to Parade. These are the tunes that were in the book. Don't you be stealing that idea for your podcast now? That's my idea. Don't you steal it. Now, William Scott, hopefully you are watching this evening as well. Another newbie for the request list, which I'm glad to see. William Torrance says this is torture. Oh, do you mean watching it, but not hearing? Oh, William, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to torture you twice, too. William Scott, you asked for a little bit of Crimson Star, Cumber, and this is them at the Upper Falls Parade in 2000. It's their 35th anniversary parade. I don't know what year that is. But after this, we will do birthdays. I've got 2 birthdays in at the moment. So somebody let me know their birthdays, and we can get those all done up next. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, birthdays. Miriam Webb said that is her sister Wilma's birthday today. So happy birthday to you, Wilma. Hope you are having a wonderful day, whatever you have been doing. Let me just check. There's no more late birthdays tonight. No. Johnny Austin is a big 31 today. Happy birthday, Johnny. Hope you have a wonderful day and aren't celebrating too much, or celebrate as much as you want. You deserve it. At 31, you definitely deserve it. That's from Keith as well. Ryan McGuinness, I've mentioned already about the 17th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary to you and the wife. And Davy Logan's daughter, and he never told me her name, but happy birthday to your daughter, Davy. I hope you have a wonderful day, which of course will only be made better by being serenaded by the Muskehounds.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from the forum. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you all. Now, Johnny has sent me, he asked for a request on his birthday. Unfortunately, Johnny, I can't do that. And David Sheridan also asked me, he also said, funny. Now, Roy did say that by playing Netherton Road twice, we were just going to give the Muskehounds the ability to say that they never heard the sound in any of their clips and therefore asked for them played again. And of course, David Sheridan, we did not predict that you would try it. Shankill Road Defenders have not been played tonight or last night, so therefore your sound was working perfectly. If you heard them, there was something wrong going on. Let's see. Susan Stanfield's joined us. She's a little bit late this evening, Susan, but she was out working. Glenn Miller is getting a lot of grief for saying he has been converted to the accordions. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yes. Love it. Comment like that and you'll bear the black book, Stephen says. Alan Finlay says, you're not converting us. It's called brainwashing. I don't care as long as it's converting us to how good they are. William Torrance says his torture was bloody squeeze boxes. William, you love them, really. Come on now, admit it. You love them coming on. I think you lot.
I can 100% admit I don't like them. I think the same way about accordions as you do, but you know keys parts.
Good God.
Folks, the next band up is Clocker Protestant Boys, and it was requested by Sandra Grant. So this is a little bit of Clocker Boys at Peter Ballymacash's Parade in 2017.
Well, that'll keep someday at a house party in Lima Vegas happy. If nothing else, Biggie, hope you enjoyed that one. Now, China said, happy wedding anniversary to me and my wife today. Does anybody know China and knows if that's actually true or not? If it is, congratulations to you both. How many years, China? But I definitely think in your occasion, we don't need to ask who deserves the medal. It is definitely the wife. And just, I'm sure you know, one of the dogs let off again. And I don't know whether it's the one at my feet or the one that was lying behind me, but the two of them just lay on, snoring as unconcerned. Well, I could hardly breathe, so the door's open again. I just couldn't stick that. It was bad. Oh my goodness. Now let's see. Let's catch up in these comments. No, we've only had 2 accordions. It's not been good, Adam, at all. Not at all. And we've had no white socks for Glenn neither. I know it's not good at all.
There could be a whole host of white socks in this next band.
He says it's a hard one, but true, China says. Let me see. Disgraceful having notes to happy birthday. I can play that with my eyes open. Oh my goodness. Hi, fair play to them, fair play to them. Black Book turncoats are out in force tonight. Enjoy your hat tricks, boys. All favourites, brilliant as usual from Brian. That was about Clocker. Brunswick better than Dunloy, says Tony Miller. And I think that is obviously slagging his mum, who is, of course, in Dunloy. Never said I was converted, says Glenn. He says, I just said I'm inebriated enough to listen to another accordion with a J. Davy Pritchard says, only times I like the accordions on is so I can get a toilet break. Heathens. Heathens. Now, big treat coming up for you all next. This is number 63 request, asked for by Robin Hall. And in case you're wondering why we're at number 63, of course, as I said, you know, like 55 and 56 were for the same band, 41, 44, and 72 were for the same band. So what I do is when, you know, I slip everybody up a number. So number 63 was a request by Robin Hall. Robin, I hope you remembered who you requested. This is our only pipe band of the night, and it is the Field Marshal Montgomery. Somebody correct me if I am wrong. I know it doesn't happen very often, but did Field Marshal actually ever do any road parades? I don't believe they do. Other than, like the finales at the pipe band contest, I don't believe they do anything orange related. I haven't said that they don't do anything green related, but they're well beyond now doing like orange parades or anything like that there. I mean, a lot of their members comes from other parts of Canada and places like that there as well to come in. Now, we only have the 3 bands left for those of you who are rushing to get to the Frampton fight. Helen Thompson, you have pleased a lot of people with your choices. You're in at number 64. You asked for some Sergeant Lindsay Mooney Memorial, and this is them at an Easter Monday parade some year. 2017. Thank you. Two things. I'm just reading a couple of ones saying there about the 97 premiers being the bit they were absolutely superb. Ballyrasheen used to have them, and I believe a few of those ones there being played by Lindsay Mooney are former Ballyrasheen ones. And also there was a couple of comments there. Did I miss it? Let me see. Wee elf with the glasses getting a lesson on our music and culture. And then somebody else said there's a wee turd in the audience. Or was that the audience of Field Marshal? Maybe that's what it was. Don't know. I don't know. Yes, you want pics of ones trying to hijack cars. No, I want pics of the funeral with several hundred at it. Please, if you have them or can get your hands on them. Now, George MacArthur, you were just in there, no more, just slipped in there, number 65. This is a request of yours. I'm really, really delighted to play it. There's a few bands I would love to see in tonight, but some night I'll just have to do a few picks of my own. This is Black Skull's Corps of Fifes and Drums playing at Camlachie in August 2015. I'm going to close the door again for freezing. superb there from Black Skull. Only too delighted to be able to play them this evening. Now, just let's see if I can see my camera here. You can just about see the two smelly articles. Come on, Craig. Craig, come here, dear. Here you go. Here you go. Come on, people can't see you. You're hiding behind the table. Come here. There. That's the two faces responsible for the smell. And to be honest, when you look as cute as that, you've forgiven everything. So you are absolutely superb there from Black Skull. Now, we're on to our last clip of the evening. Do not forget to join us on Monday. We will be live from 12 o'clock, probably for about the 2 hours there. Craig can't get enough now. He wants to be seen all the time. We're live for Cranfield Accordion have been on, Esther. Yes, we have had them on before. Yes, we will be live from 12, probably for a couple of hours. We're going to cover 2 different years of Easter Monday parades. The last clip of this evening was requested by number 66, Donnie Wilson, another new name, which is good. And you requested a little bit of Staple Defenders, so we're going to finish up with them this evening. We will see you on Monday. Have a good day today, or later on tonight and tomorrow, whatever you may do, and stay safe. And we will see you on Monday. And until then, keep the foots to the myth, boys. We're coming to the tune.
It was when England's glorious sun in 1688 was overcast with treason's cloud and popery stood elate, that up arose her Protestants, the peasant and the peer, and vowed the chain of perjure James that they would not dainty wear. They sought them out a prudent chief to guide their heart and zeal, to lead them on that victory might bless their flashing steel. And who so fit to guide that host in all its bright array as William, Prince of Orange, ere he landed at Torbay? Then up arose the mighty chief and left his native shore, and rode upon the stormy waves our freedom to restore. Upon his flag was blazoned forth high fluttering o'er the main, that our religion and our laws he ever would maintain. 'Twas then in gallant style he stood upon the vessel's prow, with victory on his flashing sword and wisdom on his brow. And tens of thousands greeted him upon his natal day, when he, our glorious Orange chief, first landed at Torbay. Come, brethren of the Orange bond, a bond ne'er to be riven. Whene'er we give great William's name, a bumper must be given. For if you'd fire a feu de joie to him who victory won, come prime and load and see you give charge unto your gun. The eloquence of bumpers full there's nothing can surpass, There's naught expresses kindred soul like friendship's social glass. And thus we give our song and toast with 3 times 3 huzzah. The memory of King William and his landing at Torbay. The memory of King William and his landing at Torbay.